Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 30th. We're going to jump right in here, Aquarius. And in your current general energies, sure, we'll take all three. You have this risk card, this extremism card, and this quarrel card. So, yikes is what I will say right there. We're going to have to see what's going on in this situation. You know, I feel like here's what it is. I feel like some of you are making a decision or want to make a decision where you want peace. You have this Be Peace card here. So you could be making a decision or wanting to make a decision that could bring about like a fight, but it's like a risk, because I feel like what this reading is saying is it's saying you don't know if it's going to, bring up an issue or not. So I'm not exactly clear on what this could be, is what I would say to you. It's like you could be fearing some sort of conflict, and you even have this conflict card. I didn't even see that right here. This is a pretty crazy reading to have everything kind of fitting together like this here, Aquarius. So we're going to have to see what is going on for you here in this reading, but there's clearly some sort of like change or a risk that you could be taking. And again, it's pretty clear to me. You have this quarrel card, you have this extremism card, and you have this risk card. So it's like there's some sort of risk that maybe you are thinking about taking in your life. And you could be fearing that this risk will cause tower moment, will cause a tower moment or some sort of change or, some sort of conflict or whatever you want to call it. But you end with this new life card as well. Sometimes I tell people that, well, I think it's always true. Number one, we can't avoid tower moments in life. Number two, I don't think we should necessarily avoid tower moments in life, because the tower is falling for a reason. The tower is falling because the tower is weak. It represents kind of living the same for too long. The tower falls because we've been ignoring reality, and this is just part of life, right? We all get into these comfort zones and things like that. So the tower falls so we can break the comfort zone. And again, tower moments can be bad, sure, depending on how you look at it, or, they can be good tower moments as well. And I feel like there's some sort of risk here. And here's the problem that I see in this row right here, Aquarius, is you have the Page of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Five of Wands. I feel like this Three of Wands is just saying, like, the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get, The Three of Wands is like, what are you waiting for? It's kind of a card that says there never will be a perfect moment to do something. So I feel for a lot of you, this is kind of like encouraging you to, rip the Band-Aid off. And I'm pretty sure in your last reading, I was getting very, very similar energies, is that you need to rip the Band-Aid off. This could also just simply be a move. I mean, in this middle row, you have the Tower, the Death card, and this card. The Tower can just be a move. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be a good thing. So again, there could be some sort of move here. We do see a lot of conflict here in your reading. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have that conflict card, you have the quarrel card, and you have this card right here. So we're going to have to dig deeper to figure out like what this conflict is. It's like leading to your new life. You have that new life at the end. And that's literally showing up in the area of messages from your guides. So I feel like your guides are encouraging you to move in a new direction, to not fear change with the Death card as well. But you could be kind of conflicted here. The thing the reading is encouraging you to do as well is it's encouraging you to be brave. The Queen of Wands is about being bold, being brave, being assertive. And there you go. And it's also, you're going up to that Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles, which is really good. So, it's like, well, you could be conflicted about making a choice or decision. I feel like you need to make the choice. The Page of Swords here is could represent like immature energy. So again, if maybe you're like thinking about leaving a person here, or maybe you're, maybe you're thinking about leaving home, and maybe there are immature people around you who don't want you to leave. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting here. And that could also be the risk that you are taking. So I need more detail. We need to figure this out. With the Page of Swords, yes, you have the Eight of Swords. See, I feel like for some of you, this immature person could be the person that's keeping you stuck. So, if you're leaving an immature person behind, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because I feel that person could be exactly the person that's been keeping you stuck or trapped all along. And this could be what you are realizing. I feel like you're also learning lessons here about like where you can give your energy, what you can give your energy to, and what you can't give your energy to here, Aquarius. I do feel like there could be a test for some of you coming in where a past person who has a very strong hold on you could be coming back in, Aquarius, into your life. And it's like, are you going to choose this past person who keeps you stuck, or a new person right here where it's like true love going to this Ace of Cups? And maybe you are causing a tower moment for this person by rejecting them. I kind of have that story popping into my head as well. With the Three of Wands, you have the Hierophant. It's like you will be waiting. By the way, if this is a person that is coming back in, and if you're giving them like a second, a third chance, a fourth chance here, to me, it looks like you're going to be waiting till the cows come home before you get a commitment from this person. I get a very flighty energy here. So I would be careful of that. For others, again, I kind of feel like this is... I have weird words popping into my head here, Aquarius. There's like... And I don't even know what those words are. I can't even grab onto them right now. But I feel this energy of kind of like all your preconceived notions about life are dissolving. I feel that for some of you, this reading is talking about kind of an intense change in the sense that like what you see for life or your life is changing. I get a pretty intense energy because Hierophant can represent like needing to think outside the box or needing to color outside the lines, right? And I kind of get that energy for you here. With the Five of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands, a very passionate new beginning. So I do feel that you have two aces here, which is amazing. Sometimes I think when we have multiple aces, we need to accept the new beginning into our life. It's kind of like saying that you're being presented with an opportunity. Aces are 0, basically. So you're being presented with a tower opportunity, which is, yes, maybe you have to start from scratch, which is kind of where I see this going. Maybe you're conflicted about it. Like, do I start over in life? Do I start over in love? Do I start over in business? And yeah, maybe you're conflicted, but Ace of Wands, amazing growth, good things coming in for you. So, that's the move I would make. Next, you have in the area of messages from your future self, you have this dove spirit. It says, be peace. There could be if this is a past person, again, I think I said this to you last week as well. I get the same message that it's like some of you might want to rip this person's head off, but I think it would be better to either just completely ignore them if someone is messaging you, or number 2, to just not engage with the BS, you know what I mean? To just let them go with peace. I think that'll be best for you energetically as well, because it almost doesn't matter. It's like there's nothing, I feel like if this is a past person and they're messaging you, and you probably have every right in the world to rip their head off. But it's like you're being lifted up on this pedestal. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, the Wisdom of the Oracle. And it's like you're being lifted up on this pedestal. It's like, does a person who's truly on the pedestal, do they need to come down here to argue and to have conflict and to cause problems with a past bozo? I would say no, probably not. You have the Six of Pentacles here. Again, someone could have been breadcrumbing you or just couldn't make up their mind, is kind of like what I'm getting here on the Six of Pentacles. For others, I really feel right now you're focusing on work. You have the Ten of Pentacles right next to it with the King of Wands. King of Wands is very entrepreneurial. He's very successful as well. So even if you don't have a business, that's fine. He just really is focused on work and building things. Even if you're retired, you could be focused on putting your energy into things that just give energy back to you, fulfilling projects, fulfilling personal projects. Maybe you're putting energy into your health or wellness as well. And I kind of feel like that's your focus here. I do feel that there is an energy of new love around you. You have the Queen and King of Wands, very desireful energy. So I feel that in the future, maybe not right now, but I think in the future you will be attracting a person. Could be a Scorpio, by the way, or it could be a fire sign or a Taurus, are all popping into my head. But, take how it resonates. Could be any sign. I feel like this is the energy that you should embrace. I mean, I think this is true for everyone, but you are an Aquarius. We have Pluto going into Aquarius that I've been preaching about for like weeks now, months, years probably. I would just say fortune favors the bold with Pluto and Aquarius. If there was a card that represented fortune favoring the bold, it would be the Queen of Wands or the King of Wands, right? So, I feel like being bold, being assertive, really going towards your dreams is going to be very successful. I feel this energy where it's like if you, especially for those of you that are kind of wanting to start a business, wanting to create more success in your life, I get this energy of like you sitting down thinking about like what you want to do, but it's like it's almost like overthinking energy. It's like you think yourself out of doing things. I don't know. And I feel like you just need to get started is basically what this is saying. You have the Ace of Cups, which is your emotions overflowing, and it is a card of peace. There is a dove right here on the card. So I feel like, regardless of what's going on around you, I feel like there's peace coming into your life. By the way, every single person has had the Tower again this week. It wouldn't surprise me if this week, the week of what are we doing, the 30th, it wouldn't surprise me if there was a global Tower moment, some sort of, crazy thing happening. Who knows? With the Six of Pentacles, you have the King of Cups here. I feel like everybody else, you need to follow your heart. I mean, I think that a big part of Pluto and Aquarius, again, is going to be to follow your heart. It is going to affect you the most because you are an Aquarius. And so what does your heart tell you to do? He has very deep emotions. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean, the King of Cups. He really, really pays attention to what his heart tells him to do. He doesn't care what anyone else tells him to do, right? He listens to himself, and that's exactly what I would be doing. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. I feel like you're walking away from things that no longer serve you. Again, I'm starting to get the feeling that you could be causing a Tower moment for another person, and again, who cares? I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is a good thing, as in, it's yeah, maybe someone doesn't want to lose you, but at the same time, it's it's not up to them, right? Same thing if you're leaving a job, right? You might be leaving a job, and maybe your boss doesn't want to lose you, but maybe they're also not willing to pay you more money. It's I get that kind of vibe going on here. It's you could have a friend who doesn't want to lose you as well. I mean, take it how it resonates, but it's maybe they don't invest in the friendship. Maybe they never call you. Maybe you never hear from them, right? And it's well, you're not really a friend. And I kind of get this very matter-of-fact energy here. And again, I think it's a good thing. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Temperance card. Another card of peace, by the way, in the After Tarot, which I'm not using right now. I don't even have it here. I thought I did. But the Temperance card is pouring the water back and forth, but there's a dove coming out of the cup, and it kind of represents creating more peace in your life. So that's what I feel like your future self is suggesting you do. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says good luck sometimes comes disguised as bad luck. Are you kidding me? And you have this conflict card. You might find yourself having personality clashes. If you're experiencing competition, see it as a chance to up your game. I do feel like maybe the past few weeks, let's say January, right, the month of January, I feel maybe you've experienced a dip. For those of you especially that have your own business or whatever, there could be a dip or some sort of change that has happened. And again, I feel like this is saying, it's time to learn to evolve or to keep up with business or what it is that you do. Again, the Tower to me says that you've been doing the same thing for too long. The whole story of the Tower is that those people have been building the walls up around them so they can ignore reality. And they're being brought back down to reality. That's the light bulb moment, the lightning strike at the top of the Tower. And again, it is crazy that you have this card that says good luck sometimes comes as bad luck. So there could be a good thing happening after a difficult period of time, or maybe something looks like a Tower moment and sorry, let me just fix this. And maybe you... But maybe it's actually good luck is what I'm trying to spit out here before my alarm goes off again for some reason. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Tower, and the Page of Cups here. Again, I feel like, I just think this is really a sign of the times, number one. It's the crown is falling off the top of the Tower, and we have Pluto going into Aquarius. It is leaving Capricorn. The whole point of Pluto in Capricorn was the death of establishment. But, I like to remind people, it's we don't usually get to taste the medicine of a planet in a sign until after it leaves a sign. So it's going from Capricorn to Aquarius this year. I think we could see a lot of establishments crumbling. We've already seen it already. But it's gonna be more. And a lot of this will probably have to do with the truth. It's I think of that whole crypto scandal with FTX. The truth came out. The institution that everybody was ranting and raving about came crumbling down, right? I also think that the important thing here is looking at the truth. I never trusted that kid in the first place, right? I look at, so I the whole FTX thing, it didn't surprise me at all. If we look at him, he was a person who bragged about how great he was basically all the time. And I never trust people like that. I never trust people that are all I'm so great. I give to all these charities and things like that. It's why don't you just do it? Why do you need to say it, right? And so I think that, you could be having, the reason I'm ranting about this is because I think you could be having a lot of those moments where it's almost like your hunches are being proven correct. Maybe you had certain ideas about people or places or things in your life, and maybe there are Tower moments, but maybe these Tower moments were hey, your hunches were correct. Your ideas about this situation, your gut instinct was correct. And maybe you're learning to kind of trust those gut instincts, those feelings and things like that as well. Next, you have the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Again, some of you could be going through a divorce. I don't really feel it's unexpected. Obviously, you would know about it. Maybe for a very small percentage of you, it's not expected. But I don't know, intuitively. And by the way, intuitively, I don't really feel like there's anything unexpected other than I think there could be a global tower moment that people aren't expecting this week. Because again, I kid you not, every single sign has had the tower. I have a stack of these decks over here. People always ask me, I switch every single sign when I do these readings. I switch decks, so the cards aren't sticking. But what I would say here is that, again, there could be like an unexpected global tower moment. Personally, I do not think there are any tower moments, or I don't think that there's anything unexpected coming in for you. Again, I label these rows, but I don't try to force them to fit. I feel like that you are working very hard to create your 10 of Pentacles, which is, again, Pluto and Aquarius. We also have Uranus and Taurus, which will kind of like make you, Aquarius, very focused on permanence, which means, if you have a business, for example, it's like you're not going to just want a business. You're going to want something that supports you for the rest of your life. Uranus and Taurus is all about building and leaving a legacy. This feeling is going to become more and more intense as we move throughout the year because Jupiter is going to move into Taurus later on in the year. And, I think you're going to have a really strong desire for security. And whatever that means for you, it could be basically anything. And again, that could have you causing tower moments for people. You also have the Page of Cups here. Page of Cups could be love. I do feel like a little bit unexpected. There could be a person who's interested in you. Feels like a fire sign to me, honestly. So there could be a fire sign who's interested in you coming into your life. Even though they're showing up as a water sign, doesn't matter. I read intuitively. That's what I'm getting. So there you go. I think you need to pay attention to your gut is what I would say here as well. I really feel that on a very deep level. With the Hierophant and the 10 of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So definitely it's time for you to be resourceful. I think you have a lot more resources than you realize. It's like you have a lot more, expertise and knowledge. I see a lot of stuff swimming around up in your brain, right? But it needs to be put into something is really what I get here. It's like maybe you need to have a YouTube channel. Maybe you need to start a blog. Maybe you need to write a book or whatever. It's like something needs to be put out into the world. And by the way, if you have any ideas and you don't know what to do in your life, maybe you just need to kind of put them outside of you. Sometimes I think when we're overthinking or we're wondering what we should do in life, if we just write about it, you are putting it outside of your body. You're externalizing it. You're getting it out. You can find answers. With the Tower, you have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a victory. You have 3 aces, which is pretty nice in your reading. But this could also be some sort of truth coming out. I'm pretty sure your last reading, again, that I did for you, there was some sort of truth being exposed or a truth coming out. Ace of Swords cuts both ways, by the way. Ace of Swords is a sacrifice. So, again, this kind of leads me more down that path of you potentially causing a tower moment for another person, or could be a boss or your job or your business. You might be kind of making a sacrifice here. But it's like I wouldn't say you're starting over. I think you're just kind of, it's like you're not even, there's like the saying, starting from a clean slate or whatever. I feel like you're finding another piece of slate. You're like, it's not like you're starting over. I feel like you're starting in a new place. I don't even know how to verbalize that. With the Page of Cups, you have the 7 of Swords. Lying, cheating, stealing. Again, there could be some sort of truths that come out here from a past person. Again, I would be very careful of that. If you don't want to hear that from that person, the truth, again, I feel like you know who I'm talking about if that message is for you. At the end here, from messages from your guides, again, I really feel you are going to feel very refreshed after potentially having a new beginning or having a fresh start. I love this card. Like, she is on a pedestal. She looks refreshed as well. She looks like fresh, glowing, happy. And so maybe some of you are holding on to something from the past, or maybe you're holding on to kind of like the way you've always been doing things. But I think in here, you have some ideas of some new ways that you could be doing things in work, business, love, money, spirituality, health, everything. And it's like once you do it, I feel like you're gonna be like, oh my god, like why didn't I cause this tower moment sooner? Why didn't I start over sooner? That's kind of what I get here. You have the King of Wands, the Death card, and the 7 of Wands. Again, this is a card of being stubborn, so I feel like your guides are kind of encouraging you to open up to new ways of doing things. I also do feel that your guides are kind of encouraging you to commit to things. This is a card of defending your position at the top of a hill. But it's a card of conviction. It's a card, I always say that says, when you know that something is for you, it's for you. So it's like a card that says, when you believe something very, very deeply, that it will be successful, whatever you want to do, then it will be successful. You have the Death card. We already know that there's some sort of transformation or change happening in your life, and maybe it kind of looks unlucky, but I actually feel like it's very lucky. And you have the King of Wands here. I feel like there could be a person who's like a King of Wands type person coming in for you. Of course, I don't really see this as a love reading, though. I feel like if love is coming in, it'll be in the future, not this month. And, I think it could be a very bold, assertive person. But again, I feel like, as I've been saying to you for a long time, fortune favors the bold. So if you're going to go for something like a business or a new relationship or whatever you're starting here, the King and the Queen of Wands, I feel like, are saying you need to be all in. I always say that you can't half-ass one thing. You have to whole-ass one thing, right? So I feel like you're whole-assing something here with the King of Wands, or you need to be successful. With the King of Wands, you have the High Priestess. Definitely trust your gut, trust your intuition. We talked about this. I get that, for whatever reason, I get that on the Tower of this, like, need to really listen. Or, like, not only listen, but listen to your gut. With the Death card, you have the Empress. Yep, I feel like this is you transforming into the Empress. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. I feel like you're transforming into something very abundant, successful, very creative as well. And with the Seven of Wands, you have the Lovers. So, I feel like some of you are moving towards new love, plain and simple. There could be some surprise in your love life. Like, again, if someone is communicating with you. But I really feel like you're committed to a new path. The Lovers was traditionally a card of the crossroads, and I feel like you're just committed to kind of moving in this new direction in your life. We're going to pull 3 yes/no question cards now here, Aquarius. If you don't have any questions, that's fine. I will be putting all 3 cards together at the end as like a personal-ish reading, but we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. But you have this 4 cups here. Do you need to try something again? I would say no, is what I'm going to say to you here. No. For question number 2, hell yes, Empress, again. So definitely a lot of abundance and success coming in for you. And for question number 3, I would say maybe. I keep forgetting to call this yes, no, maybe. And Justice to me says you already know, like whatever you're asking about here, I feel like you already know that what you get out of the situation. If justice is cause and effect. If I put energy into this, do I get energy back? If the answer is yes, then yes. If the answer is no, then no. Putting this all together, again, I feel like you're becoming a much better energetic worker is really what I'm getting, because Empress, she just receives energy, and the Justice card would be like you knowing where to put your energy so that you can create more balance and less conflict, which I feel like this reading is encouraging you to do. But pretty interesting reading here, Aquarius. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Definitely check out your Sun, Moon, Rising for full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.